Three, two, one. Command has been given. Crank him up.
Let's go. When I say I don't know, I don't know.
Let's go, baby.
Now, the morning drive.
Buckle up, everybody.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
It's a game changer.
I listen to you guys every single day on my way to work.
Well, again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the radio.
You guys are amazing.
What are you doing over there?
I'm going to the top.
The morning drive with Mike Bagley and Pete Pistone.
To the bat balls.
Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 live and on the air for this Friday, April 28th, 2023. Mike Bagley here in Delmarva Studio 1D. We've got Pistol Pete Pistone in the Paisan Palace in Chicago. Sammy and Davey are in Studio 134 of the Beltway Bureau in our nation's capital. We welcome each and every one of you to this Friday morning and happy beginning of the Worth 400 race weekend to you, Triple P.
Well, good morning, Bagman. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to one and all. Indeed, the checkered flag on our week here on TMD. Green flag in hand for a triple header there at the Monster Mile. And we will also say bye-bye to the month of April when we get out of there on Sunday, May 1st. Monday is May Day, Baggy. Get that maypole. You get that maypole ready, get around the maypole and enjoy yourself.
It's funny you say that because that's exactly what they do in downtown Dover when we have Dover Days. They have that out there. They dress up and do all that they do. And the maypole is one of those things. Yes.
Really? Okay. I don't know what you're doing Monday, but if you go down there and get a picture, I'd be appreciative of it. Go ahead. Come on.
Let's go skipping around the old maypole there for a little bit. They're on the green, downtown Dover. Yes.
Well, that's good. Well, let's hope the May weather is a lot, at least for us here in Chicago, a lot more like what we had yesterday. What a beautiful day. 72 degrees. Picture perfect, sunshine, not a cloud in the sky, no breeze whatsoever. When I got done with some of the stuff I did here in the office studio, I went out and the golf course over here, you would have thought it was a Saturday afternoon, boys, at 2 in the afternoon. That's how many people were on the golf course yesterday. I was jealous, but what a beautiful day. Going to be okay today, a little cooler over the weekend, but hopefully I think long range we're heading to a little better direction here. So
well, good. I'm so glad to hear that.
Sorry. Sorry.
On high tide over there. No, actually,
no, you're in high tide.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here's what we're working with. By the way, Mike Tatoyan, president of Dover Motor Speedway, will join us top of the hour.
Don't sound so excited about it.
Shed some more light on this, but just tell you, folks, it's pretty grim.
We can do. We'll have Noah Tatoyan will be joining us here at the bottom of the hour. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Well, right now he is admitting employees 2 by 2 into the property. Yeah. So early on in this thing, they were actually forecasting a nor'easter. That we got two systems that were supposed to combine, they didn't, but now they're going to come through staggered. One's going to come through. One's actually in the process of pushing through right now. And that's going to go till sometime tomorrow. We're going to get a little break. And then the other one's supposed to come in on Sunday and go into Monday. And, well, I hate it for everybody. We need the rain. We're in a drought. But I hated that we had to break the drought on this weekend. But I don't know what it is, but whenever we've gotten inclement weather the last month and a half or so, it's come through on weekends. During the week is fine. But it's the weekends that are driving us nuts. So we're going to have a little patience. I think we'll be on the track at some point tomorrow. I hope. But here's the thing. Because we're sandwiched in between the two of these things, what's going to be in the middle is drizzle. So we don't know if that's going to be enough to put the brakes on everything or if we can push through. And if it's a light drizzle. Yeah, did we have that in Texas a couple years ago where it wasn't raining. It was just that heavy mist type stuff. So
don't bring that up to Kevin Harvick. But yes, that's exactly what we had.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going to have to exercise some patience here in the weather department this weekend, but we will race at some point. Let's just be patient and let Mother Nature do whatever she's going to do, and then we'll do our thing when she's done. So
we'll stay positive.
Right now.
We'll stay optimistic. You never know, but that's kind of what we're dealing with now. It's funny you talk about that. It seems like every weekend we get weather. My dad, one time, we were in a stretch like that here in Chicago. It really was like 8 weeks in a row. Every weekend it would rain, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would be beautiful, and every Friday. And here's what we need to do. You need to just pump the calendar, make 3 Mondays in a row, and then that way we get off that 7-day cycle. I go, Dad, you're gonna change the whole.
Doctor up the thing like that.
Why not? Why not? You just make it 3 Mondays in a row, then you make Thursday the new Monday, and then you got a weekend, and it'll rain. He had it all figured out, but that didn't happen, obviously. God rest his soul. You know, Sam, you always had an angle. Always trying to figure out something better, and it just didn't work out that time.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. What you think about the NFL draft last night? Did you check it out?
I did. We got done here with work, and Shelly and I did a couple of quick errands. Got the oven that we talked about all squared away. That'll be delivered on Wednesday. I asked if it could be delivered during showtime, so we'll see if it comes between 7 and 11 Eastern on Wednesday.
Yeah, but the problem is your microphone doesn't go up that far. You can't get upstairs like that unless you,
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
bring in the wireless kit and we wire the house and all that stuff. Or maybe, I tell you what, Zoom on your phone and we'll bring it in through the board. How about that?
We'll see what happens. Anyway,
Boys, bring it in right here. Shelly, get out of the way, honey.
that way, and I'll just say this before I tell you about the draft. That was about as painless of a process as I can remember. I mean, they were so good. This place called Apt around here, giant appliance and everything else store. Easy peasy. Didn't try to sell us anything more. Delivery is free. Beautiful. So got that done. NFL draft, I don't think it was any surprise. Bryce Young from Alabama, the number 1 pick for the Carolina Panthers, but then a lot of maneuvering. Houston trading up to get C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback. He was the 2nd pick. Sammy, the Indianapolis Colts, got a nice quarterback there from Florida, Anthony Richardson. I think he should be happy about that. The Bears got a guy named Darnell Wright, who's an offensive tackle from Tennessee. And then the Commanders, boys, how do you feel about your cornerback there coming from Mississippi State, Emmanuel
Forbes.
I thought you were going to jump in there. Emmanuel Forbes, the quarterback.
No.
Yeah. So I thought it went well. I enjoy it. I liked the draft. I thought it was good. It was fun.
I don't. Well, first of all, I did not notice the cascade of boos that normally takes place when the commissioner normally reaches the stage. There were some, but I don't remember there as being as many in the past.
Was there really 300,000 people there? Like, I saw pictures. Were there really 300,000 people there?
They said
It looked like
they
it to
did.
me.
There was a lot of people.
It's downtown in Kansas City at Union Station is where it was, away from where we go for the racetrack. But they said 300,000 people were there. So I don't know. It's so funny. There was a story yesterday where when ESPN first said we want to televise the draft, how many years ago, the NFL said, why? Why would you want to do that? And look what it's morphed into. But I mean, I thought that was good. I mean, I think the players, there were a few surprises, few moving around of trades and such, but otherwise I thought it was good. That was a good draft.
They jazzed it up because they brought Mahomes and Kelsey in, and then they had Eric Stonestreet. They had the gal from Saturday Night Live.
Heidi Gardner, yeah. I think that's why there wasn't as many boos as normal, because they brought out the people that Kansas City loves.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what?
That's
that may
a smart
be
idea.
And did I understand correctly? That was the first draft held in a city that won the Super Bowl the few months prior.
Yes, and Michelle asked me that.
Goodell say that.
Michelle asked me, do they have the draft in the city of the team that wins the Super Bowl? And I go, no, that just happened by happenstance this year because those things are plotted out, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. But, yeah, I mean, I listen, bottom line is the NFL could do anything and make a show out of it. That was only the first round. You got round 2 today and then round 3 on Saturday. So more to come there on the college football side of things. And here in Chicago, we have a press conference today. We have a new commissioner of the Big Ten. So they're going to be Maz is actually coming into town. Maz was there. Maz was coordinating our Sirius XM NFL draft coverage in Kansas City last night. He's flying into Chicago this morning. I'm picking him up at the airport after TMD. We're going to do the press conference with the new commissioner, and then I'm going to bring him back to the airport, and he's going home, and I'm going to hurry back here and do the afternoon show. So we've got a lot going on here in the last couple of days.
By the way, I had to laugh when you tweeted out last night, looking for 8 Big Ten players to go in round 1 of tonight's draft, and then this guy comes in, 10 from SEC.
Sure.
Okay, we didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for that.
Well,
No, I got to jump in there and get that anyway. And by the way, some of that SEC action went to Washington and Philadelphia. And look, this bunch up in Philadelphia, not afraid to do some maneuvering to get who they want to get, and they got who they wanted to get. But
Carter.
it's just a night of angling. I don't follow college football that much. I follow it a little, but I'm not in tune to the names unless it's a huge, like Bryce Young, know who that is.
Yeah.
But But it's very emotional. I mean, they were having watch parties in the Link last night. They opened the thing up. They let fans on the field, and they watched all that. And Travis Kelce was in Kansas City. Is it Travis or no? What's the other? No, Travis is the Kansas City Kelce. Who's the Eagles Kelce? His brother,
Jason Kelce. Yeah.
Jason. He's out there slamming beers with fans.
Hey, go for it. Travis Kelce, when he hosted Saturday Night Live about a month ago, he was great. He was really good. He's got a great personality. So, yeah, and things are going pretty well. We missed it by a week, Baggy. A week from today, we'll be heading to Kansas City. So we missed it by a week for NASCAR weekend.
And I was going to say, so that is the lead-in. The NFL draft was the lead-in to our race next weekend at Kansas Speedway. So I hope that they get everything all buttoned up. They get everything all cleaned up, squared away, and reorganized so we can come in and do our thing next weekend.
Now, I did think of you because I was talking to some of the reporters that were going there, and we were getting some things scheduled with them. The airport, which has been the bane of your existence for how many years you've flown into Kansas City, remodeled, repurposed, and these guys were like, you won't believe I don't fly in there. I drive in there.
Repurposed. It's brand new. From ground up.
Brand new. So I don't fly in there. I drive. But so you should have I'd be curious to hear your experience flying into KC next week for the race weekend.
Yeah, no, gone are those little horseshoe, little terminal things that were just absolutely ridiculous. Just probably that used to be the worst airport on the entire schedule. Trying to get in and out of that mess.
That's what you've said.
Oh, yeah. It's awful. But now that new terminal is open, and it's the whole thing. They put everything into one, and they put it over there.
Yeah,
on the other 40.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good.
Wait.
Yeah, can't wait.
Now,
KCI. Yeah.
Let me know when they're going to take the old TNT and the dynamite to those other concourses. I may want to go watch that in person.
That bad, huh? Yeah.
Oh, it's just. You know what? That was the Veteran Stadium of airports. I think I can just leave it right there, and you know exactly what I'm talking. It's the Riverfront Stadium, the Three Rivers Stadium, the Veteran Stadiums of airports.
Okay, easy on Riverfront.
No,
that was terrible.
Those ballparks that I mentioned were those concrete caverns. It was nothing but concrete.
Yeah.
And asbestos.
Just be nice to Riverfront a little bit.
They were state of the art when they built them, and then over time, it's like, oh man, what a mess this was. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you.
Now it's just like, what dump is that? Good
Lord.
Lord.
I'll tell you what.
No, seriously. I mean, if you look, you would never build anything like that now. I mean, look at what we're building now. And look at what we have. And then back then, you go back in time, it's just like, oh my God, we were excited about this? Mm-hmm. I mean, but that's all we had. Like, by the way, it's a little sidebar here. I don't know if you saw the picture I tweeted this morning, but I found this picture of Dover in front of the racetrack in 1970.
Wow.
And in it, they've labeled like where things are right now, the entrance, how you turn into the main entrance. Mm-hmm. That's what Dover looked like the year after I was born, and the year after its first race in 1969. Wow. My, how times have changed.
I'll tell you, I was doing it was kind of a combination. I was doing some research work for something I was working on, and also I went down one of the rabbit holes that you've been talking about when you start to go down those video rabbit holes, and I found some things from Dover. I don't know if you remember this or not. Do you remember when they had the big rig truck series where Shauna Robinson used to race in? There was a video I found from Dover. First of all, if you didn't know that was Dover, you wouldn't know that was Dover. It didn't look anything like what's there now.
It looked like it was in the middle of a field 800 trillion miles from humanity. Mm-hmm. It just nothing was around it back then.
Uh-huh. And here are these big rigs without the trailers racing around. And if I remember correctly, that series, I think they raced at the Milwaukee Mile. One of them hit the wall, and when one of those hit the wall's the one that takes the impact. Not the rig, the wall. The wall was gone.
The truck won that battle. The wall didn't.
Yes. And then I found an IndyCar ASA video from Dover, and actually was there for that one. It was the IRL that raced there. That was one of those race weekends where they introduced the fans to the drivers, if you know what I mean. There weren't that many people in the stands for that race. But when you look at Dover today, to your point, it doesn't look – it's like Bristol. Same with Bristol. When you look at old Bristol pictures and photos, it's like that's Bristol Motor Speedway. Same thing with Dover.
Well, I like doing the compare contrast. It's like someone had responded to my tweet of that picture. I think it was Pepsi Steve, that talked about Kansas, the before and after. I remember going by Kansas and that interchange at 70 and 435 on the west side of Kansas City. We used to fly into Kansas City International, and we would have to take that route and drive over to Topeka when the trucks raced at Heartland Park. And then we would come back, and I remember the year before they put shovels in the ground, looking over there, and you see nothing but farmland and fields. And I think this one farmhouse was out there and be like, boys, that's where we're going to be racing going forward. And we're like, no way. And then now look at what it is, not only with the track, which, by the way, I love Kansas Speedway. We'll talk about more about this week. I love Kansas Speedway because it's dug out in a bowl. It is dug out in the earth. It's not like the banking sits on top of the ground. It was dug down in. And just the way that the sight lines are and all that. But anyway, that went first, and then the legends started popping up. Nebraska Furniture Mart, the Great Wolf Lodge, and all that stuff, popping up. And now it's its own little city out there. You don't have to leave out there for anything. They have everything you could possibly want. Just in that little area around the racetrack, and that's why I love it. It's spectacular. Yeah.
It reminds me of when, rest in peace, Chicagoland Speedway, which opened up the same year Kansas did, same thing. They put us on a bus downtown in Chicago, all the media, and they took us to Joliet, to this plot of land, and it was a cold February day. It was like cold and windy and, mud everywhere. Oh, we're going to build this state-of-the-art racetrack here. Yeah, okay, sure, right. And sure enough, they did. And speaking of that, one of the other things I did yesterday, I did a local radio hit here talking about the street circuit race. Ticket sales are really good for the 1st and 2nd of July. 76% of tickets that have been sold to the Chicago street circuit race by people who have never been to a NASCAR race. Kind of along the line of what we talked about for the LA Coliseum and the Clash. So the idea of attracting people who don't normally go to a NASCAR race, which is one of the ideas for the street circuit, based on the stats we got from Julie Giese and her team, that seems to be working, Baggy, for this race coming up here in about 2 months now.
Oh, that's not going to set well with some folks. Believe it or not, this stuff works, and we're seeing and reaping the successes and benefits of what we're doing. That was why we did the Clash of the Coliseum, something different, but also attracting new fans. And it sounds like that we're having that same thing happen, which I love. That's awesome. Because those numbers almost mirror those of the Clash. Wasn't that stat for the first Clash about the same, like 75% of the ticket buyers had never been to a NASCAR race ever?
Same
along
idea.
Those lines.
Same idea. I guess they followed the same ticket selling metrics as they did with that event, and that's where they are right now. And obviously still got 2 months to go, and some more things are coming into play. We had a couple of drivers up here this week doing some things with some of the schools around town, and also lots going on here in Chicago, and look forward to that. Be coming up basically, I think it's like 8 weeks from this weekend. We'll be racing here July 1st and 2nd. How about that?
We cannot wait. We have other business to tend to, including the Worth 400 race weekend in Dover. Coming up bottom of the hour, we'll give you headline check number 1. We'll also give you a Dover weekend preview. We'll also bring in Tino Patino with his best bets. Top of the hour, Mike Tatoyan, the president of Dover Motor Speedway, will join us. Coming up at 8:50, got the drum, got the calendar for you. Also, Richard Childress, the owner of Richard Childress Racing, going to join us at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, in the 4th and final hour, we'll give you the Wizard of Oz, our fantasy sports teams and picks and prop bets and race picks and the like. And, of course, Monday headlines today. Could be a little dicey today. We'll take your telephone calls at 866-FIT-LANE, and we'll also take your tweets at SiriusXM NASCAR, hashtag TMD NASCAR. TMD brought to you in part by our friends at Steven Singer Jewelers. Mother's Day is almost here, and do you have trouble telling mom just how much you love her? Sure, she makes you crazy. That's what moms do. So what would make her happy? What does she really want? Well, if you ask most moms, they think you should put up a neon sign in Times Square that says, Mom, I love you. You're the best mom ever. But since you can't do that, I've got the answer for you this Mother's Day. Go see our friend Steven Singer. Yeah, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. His brand new neon green 24-karat gold dip rose will light her up. This is his first of their brand new neon color roses. Her friends will be green with envy. Don't miss out on this vibrant neon green 24-karat gold dip rose. It's the only rose that lasts forever, just like your mom's love. Steven's famous gold dip rose collection starts at just $59. Take advantage of free shipping before it's too late. Get a personalized Mother's Day card from you, plus a full lifetime guarantee, all included for free. Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com.